Be strong.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pembroke Dock Towncast with me, Lee G. We are back for 2026. This is going to be a bit of a different one this week. It's going to be a really quick one. A few updates, a few sports scores, and that's it because I've got a stinking cold. And yeah, you can probably hear my nose and what have you coming through the microphone. So, yeah, just wanted to welcome everybody back to 2026. We are going to be doing things as normal as always. If you want to come and get involved, you will be very welcome to email me on idletowncast@gmail.com. Yeah, like and subscribe, all of those usual things. So just gonna crack on. Okay, like I said, I'm gonna rabbit through this week as quickly as I possibly can. Um, just with a few updates of things that are going on and a bit of chat about the news and what have you. So let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger, show it as full screen. There we go. Don't really make much difference, does it? So the warm room. So they've been saying the last couple of weeks there's a cold blast coming. There's a nasty blast coming through. All of these things, by the way, taken off Facebook. If you want to know more, just go to the Peter Hall page and so on and so forth. You'll see them as they come up. So yeah, you won't be able to click on the screen and do any of that, which is one of the questions I had over Christmas. So yes, this is just a video. It's not, you can't click on these and do that. Okay, so Peter Hall have shared an update about a couple of warm rooms that may be very relevant over the coming week or so. So Monday, right. So Peter Hall is on Friday. The Heritage Centre is on a Tuesday. Bethel and Pembroke Dock Community Hall also have warm days space available. So pretty much most days there'll be something available somewhere. And I know this is going to sound a bit kind of presumptuous, but if you're struggling to get somewhere, if you're struggling, if you need to get to a wall, maybe you just want to go and have a chat, you want to have a cup of tea, you want to have a bit of soup or whatever, and you're struggling to get there, put a message out on socials. Put a message out. Don't be embarrassed to say, look, I want to get to the warm room. Can somebody give me a lift? Somebody will give. If you know the day before, even better. By all means, post it on our page, post it underneath. And I will share it for you. What I wouldn't want is anybody sat at home going, "Oh, I'm feeling cold. I don't want to put the heating on at home, and I can't get to a warm room." So if you need help getting there, do please shout. And there are lots of different places where you can go. Okay, coffee mornings as well. I mean, coffee mornings are kind of gone out of fashion. They used to be all the rage. Everybody used to have a coffee morning. There used to be one every Friday at one point. So again, this is at the Pembroke Dock Community Hall, which is behind St John's Church. So 22nd, 29th of January, and we're heading into February. So we've got St John's, St Tylo's, RNLI, and Community Hall. Okay, so again, you can go on to Michelle Wiggins, Town Mayor, go onto her profile, ask her the questions if you need, or you can go on to St john'scomhall.org.uk, or you can email them on pdcomhall23@outlook.com. Yeah, always good to go to a good coffee morning. I remember going to a coffee morning once on St. David's Day, and there was like about 20 different types of Welsh cakes available. I was only small, I was only wee diddy, but yeah. So other things that have been happening this week. Now you may have seen these. I just wanted to show this for scale. This is London Road. That is a turbine, an arm, a wing, whatever. I think they call it a wing. So that's the Welshman's up there. That's the Welshman's pub there. Yeah, you can see that there. And that is just off the roundabout there. That's where the end of it is. That's how big those things are. I just wanted to say a big well done to the team for organising that, especially the comms team. There were daily updates. There were daily updates of when it was leaving. There were daily updates when it wasn't leaving. There were daily updates about any problems. There were apologies if there were problems, and it was really clearly. I think it shows that we can do this sort of thing. The skills are there. This is how you do those kind of things. Okay, so yeah, big hats off to the team as well. And one of the things I will be doing in future is sharing a bit more information about the Freeport. Because one of the things that we need to make sure of is that with all of this stuff coming through the town centre, and you can see the size of that machine going through the town centre, we need to make sure that there are benefits coming to Pembroke Dock. And all of that is meant to be there, all of that's meant to be set up. I just want to make sure that we're involved in that when it comes. Couple of other bits and bobs then. You'll find this on the town centre, the town council's website, and on their Facebook page. This is a notification of a councillor vacancy for Market Ward. So Market Ward is over the dockyard kind of end of town. So all information is on there. When is that? 26th of February is closing date for that. Interviews on Thursday 5th. I'm not sure what the bit is where they hold an election and where they can be co-opted, but yeah, this will be there. So you can email it into townclerk@pembroke.tc.org.uk. And like I said, there's a fair bit of stuff around at the minute. But as soon as you put your head over the parapet, somebody's going to try and take your head off for you. Okay. And that's always true of councillors. But the one thing I know about town councillors in particular is that their heart is in the right place. Their heart is always in the right place. So yeah, don't be frightened if you're thinking that you can do something and you can be an asset to the town, go be an asset to the town, because more people like that we need on that. Okay. So a few other things you can get yourself involved with. So this is about active travel. Okay, this is the active travel survey. There's also one as well. There's a Welsh government one about development and getting involved in the development. Where what kind of development goes where. So seen a little bit of negativity about these. Change is coming, whether we like it or not. Now, you can either be a part of that change and you can have constructive input into that change, or you can sit there and moan about it. Okay. What I will absolutely throw out there right now is that lower speeds are beneficial for everybody. If your ego can't cope with going 20 mile an hour, that's your issue, nobody else's. Okay. So the whole active travel thing is about walking, it's about bikes, it's about safety, it's about how do you get people into the town centre. The QR code is there. By all means, go and use it, because the more of us that get involved and talk about these sorts of things, the more ideas we'll get and the better it will be as a whole. Okay, so you may have seen this video as well. I'm not going to play the video now, but that's Paul Miller. So they recently launched, again, this is a survey, but it's called Pride in Place. Okay, Pride in Place is basically the new name for like town centre and town development grants. So it's not a charity grant. It's not business. They may well be a charity grant, but it's not a dedicated charity grant. But this is all about places that need doing up, basically. Enhancing public spaces. There is a big focus on town centres and high streets and things like that. So if you've got something that will make a difference, then if you go onto that post, okay, this is on the PCC Facebook page, but it is quite far back. So I'll try and share it on ours as well. But if you go onto that post and click on the link, if you scroll down from there, there's a link. You'll come to this page here, okay, which is Pride in Place Impact Fund. It takes about 5 minutes to fill in. It's really not that long to fill in. But the more of us that get involved in this, the better. And if the more of us are saying, hey, we need this, the more likely it is that we're actually going to get something. So I'll say this again, and I'll keep banging this drum until somebody listens. The old Woolies building in the town centre, turn that into a community hub, pop-up shops, community spaces, live music venue, all of those kind of things. Have a look at Haverhub in Haverfordwest, how that operates. We could do the same with the Woolies building, brings fresh people, fresh ideas, fresh emphasis into the town centre. We could make that happen with this Pride in Place fund. Okay, that's just my thought. If you've got others, by all means, stick them in there because if you don't, okay, this money isn't going to be spent on schools, hospitals, potholes, none of that stuff. There's different pots of money for those things. Okay, this is dedicated money to revitalize the town centre. So if you've got an idea, put it forward. If it's completely useless, then they'll just go, thank you very much. And yeah, we can't do anything with that. But there might be something in there that works and we can make something happen with it. So please, 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 if you do nothing else, go on and put some ideas forward. If you do nothing else, just put in turn Woolies in Pembroke Dock into uh, a town hub because that'll be really cool. Okay, that is all of those little bits. I am going to skip over the usual bits, the chatty bits, the remember when and things like that, just because, like I said, I've got a cold and I'm sneezing everywhere, and it's going to take me an hour and a half to edit this anyway. So, yeah, if you want to get involved, okay, um, this is a fresh bid now for 2026. I've got a couple of people who have said that they'd like to be involved. The more of us that get involved in a towncast, the bigger we can make it, and the better we can make it as well. And on weeks when I've got a stinking cold, you guys can crack on and still do a decent podcast without me. Okay, let's go and do some sport. So, going to quickly run down some of the sports results. One rugby result from the weekend, which is a pretty much, it's not a great one, to be honest. Quins went down 26-20 away in St. David's, which, I mean, it makes um, that leap to the Pontevedra. I know that looks like there's 1 point in between there, but Pontevedra have got what 3 games in hand and haven't lost so far this season. So yeah, just makes life a little bit more difficult for the Quins on that. There is no game planned for the Quins next week. I think the next game, the next league game for the Quins, there you go, is away in Langham on 28th of February. Okay, so we got a while before that one kicks in. Let's have a quick look at the football. Boom, boom, boom. So Division One results for I said that with the weather, the way the weather's been this weekend, it has been a bit iffy, but nothing there. So last week, Carew beat St. Ishmael's 3-1, and then week before that, so 17th, Robins lost away in St. Ishmael's as well, 3-2 on that. Go back to 10th of January. Carew beat Fishguard 4-2 at home. And yeah, back to the start of the year, because I haven't done one since the start of the year. There you go. Robins lost to Merlin's Bridge. So where does everybody sit in the table? So yeah, Robins kind of mid-table, Carew one below them, 15 and 16 points. I think they're safe from relegation, but they're not going to be challenging for top of the table this season. Okay, let's have a look in Division Two. So we've got no fixtures loaded, so it is a little bit awkward at the minute. Again, weather playing havoc with fixtures. I thought I got somebody in here. No, so I'm going to ignore Division Two. We'll skip over Division Two. There's nothing of interest in Division Two. Division Three. There we go. Loreni beat Kilgetty 3-1. Back on the 7th of January. You can see how the weather is just wreaking havoc. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So 3rd of January, the Borough beat Loreni 6-0, which is great. And then Penrobin seconds lost 3-0 at Camrose Reserves. But that was 3rd of January. We're now on 1st of February. No games between there. That's it's a bit shocking. Where does that leave everybody in the table? So Borough in 2nd place, 11 points behind Tenby seconds, 1 game in hand. That's going to be a tough call. Robin's seconds rooted to the bottom of the table, and then we've got Rennie kind of 4th in the table there as well. Okay, Division 4 then. So Angle might be of interest to you, beating Milford 2-1. Manabia lost 3-1 in Fishguard. Angle beat Prendergast Villa 8-2. Handleton beat Solver Reserves 8-1. I know that's not us necessarily, but that might be of interest to you. Yeah, again, very little in that table to help us. Division 5 then. There we go. So 24. So that was last weekend. The Borough Reserves beat Prendergast Villa seconds 6-3. Week before that, they lost 2-1 at Haverfordwest Cricket Club Reserves. Loreni drew 0-0 with Herbertston. I think that's pretty much that. Anything else on there? Loreni Reserves beat Cricket Club Reserves 1-0. That was a bit of a shock for Kilgetty thirds, losing 15-0 to Pembroke to Milford United thirds. Pembroke Borough Reserves dishing out a little bit of stuff there. 11-0 winners at Letterston on the 10th. And the week before that, they've had a couple of days of it, haven't they? So beating Milford United thirds 8-3 as well. And Loreni Reserves losing 2-0 at home. Where does that leave everybody at the table? Borough Reserves, say again, just that little bit too far away. Top of the table is Haverfordwest Cricket Club Reserves on 41 and the Borough Reserves second on 36. I just think it's 2 games, but you never know. You never know. And I don't think they've got fixtures listed now. So, if the Borough play in Haverfordwest again, that's a 6-point swing. So who knows? Okay, that is it for the sports. I say, if you're part of a local team, netball, hockey, snooker, darts, whatever, and you want your sport on here, do drop me a line. You'll be more than welcome to come on and have a chat about it. Okay, that is it for this week. Short and sweet. We'll be back again next week with all of that. I say, if you want to come and join us, please do. isleoftowncast@gmail.com. Drop us a line on our Facebook page. Please do subscribe and share. The more the merrier. We'll make this a really big thing. Okay, that's it from me. Thanks very much. And let's all go make Pembroke Dock proud. All the best. Be strong. Be strong.